François Boileau is Ontario's French Language Services Commissioner, looking out for the interests of the province's some 600,000 francophones. He's expressed his objections to the Ontario government's cuts to French language services, even though the government has backed away from some of those measures. And François Boileau is with me now in the studio. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So Doug Ford's backed away from some of his earlier proposals, says, look, we'll keep the office of the French Language Services Commissioner, we'll put it in the office of the Ombudsman in the province of Ontario. Why isn't that good enough?
Well, we're losing an institution. So two aspects. One is symbolic. So right now, Franco-Ontarians have a foothold at the Legislative Assembly, and they will lose that institution. So the office of the French Language Service Commissioner will be dissolved and integrated completely within the Ombudsman office. Second is more on a practical level. The Ombudsman's office is a last resort. Mm-hmm. We are not. We're very proactive. So we are advocate as well. And that voice will be lost somehow because the new commissioner will have to ask, there will be competing priorities with the Ombudsman. Mm. And he will have, or she will have to ask permission for priorities and therefore budget and therefore staffing issues and therefore everything else.
So we understand. So when you talk about, you do investigate complaints, but you also, you say, do advocacy. So in what way? What should people know about the value they're getting for your office in the province of Ontario and trying to move forward, not just French language services, but I suppose the well-being of the Francophone community in Ontario?
Well, I'll give you perhaps only one example because it's also something that we are discussing publicly. It's the French University. So what we've done in 2012 is we produced a report saying that no access, no future, because there was a clear gap in terms of post-secondary education in French in the central southwestern part of the province. We had, at the time, and it's probably around those numbers again today, 0 to 3% of access of programs in French in a fast-growing population. London, Hamilton, Toronto is a fast-growing. Diversity is very key. The Francophone population is very diverse. One Francophone out of 2 in the GTA was not born in this country. 8 out of 14 of my staff was not born in this country. So we're very diverse. It's a very dynamic population, growing, but there's no future because there's no possible access to French programs at the post-secondary education level, aside from Collège Boréal.
Okay, so two things to deal with there. So if the Premier doesn't change yet again, so if the plan is to put this in the office of the Ombudsman, what happens with you? Are you going to make that move, or you're not doing it?
No, and myself, it's not important. It's the position. People lose their job every day. We saw it this week. Oshawa is a real crisis. So it's not about me. It's about the position and the position that I hold. And people are asking me whether or not, why wouldn't I try? I don't have that generosity of heart. I don't have that courage to be part of the dismantlement of an institution that I've helped build over the last 11 years. So, and it's the decision of Paul Dubé. It's not the government's decision. It's Paul Dubé. He is the ombudsman. And there are worse things because he's a real good ombudsman. So in other circumstances, it would have been a pleasure to work with him.
But if you don't do it and the government doesn't change, somebody will do it.
That's correct.
Right. And but you say that it'll be a much lesser organization. It won't do the job.
It won't be the same organization. It won't be as proactive. This week we held a symposium on to follow up on our report, last annual report, and it was a symposium talking about many issues that affect the community, Francophone community, but also the society at large. The whole symposium was a kind of a bridge with the reality in 10 years down the road. It's a proactive event. It won't happen under the Ombudsman. There's no way.
Did you have a chance to meet with the Prime Minister yesterday?
No.
You weren't there. So, no. But he met with other political leaders of the opposition parties.
I'm not one of them.
No, but with a view to supporting Francophone rights across Canada. But we all know it's about what's happening in the province of Ontario. One of the suggestions there being made was maybe the federal government could look for office buildings in Toronto and offer those to the Ontario government, federal buildings that could make up this university. Does that make any sense to you? Like, they're trying to find ways to give Doug Ford a way forward to build this university, to create this university.
Well, if the government of Ontario is true to his word, which is that it's not a question of ideology, it's a question of money, then, and if the federal government is able to to la main tendue, to
reach a hand,
propose, to reach, thank you,
reach
to
out.
propose, to reach out to the government of Ontario. It would be up to the government of Ontario to listen to this reaching out, and hopefully they can solve these issues. We're talking about a mere, I know it's a lot of money for everybody, but we're talking about $6.8 billion in post-secondary education. What the Francophone community is asking for 84 in 8 years. So we're talking about $5 million per year. It's 0.07% of the budget of post-secondary education in Ontario.
Let's finish on this. Do you think Premier Ford understands Francophone Ontario? Do you think he understands what the community is about?
I think he has a better understanding right now of the impact of its decision. I wish the Premier would have known us a little bit better before making those decisions.
All right, François Boileau, thanks for your time.
My pleasure.